A huge Merry Christmas to all my MGTOW brothers here, and as everyone can see here, it is sunny and it's like 70 degrees Fahrenheit here in Florida, and it's Christmas. This is actually the first Christmas that I've had this type of weather since I was down in South America. Hopefully all the guys out there and women are having an excellent holiday today, and I hugely appreciate all the subscribers and all the people who've commented on my videos this year, and I look forward to continue propelling my channel into next year, and we'll see where that goes. It's been a wonderful year. It's been kind of a roller coaster for me, obviously, since I moved countries. As many people here know, I was living in Eastern Europe for a few years, and I just recently came back to the US, and I've been here since for around 6 weeks more or less, and it's been positive. So whether you're by yourself, you're with someone else, enjoy the Christmas, be thankful for everything you have. I also want to encourage all the guys here to really evaluate where you're at in your life and ask yourself what you want. Obviously this is maybe better suited for New Year's, but we're very close to that. See and look at your life and what you're doing. Although the past few years for me, many people may consider not successful, I myself don't look at it that way. If I went back to 4 years before this, when I was back in Chicago, before I had moved to Eastern Europe and pursued the different business ventures that I did, I wouldn't change anything about it, in fact, because I know that at the end of the day, I went the extra mile to be successful. As many guys here know, this term of playing to win instead of playing not to lose. I've been playing to win the past 4 to 5 years. And yes, do I have the material gains yet to demonstrate this? No, I don't. But that's not the main point here. And remember that just like in sports or in other endeavors in life, sometimes it's not the first time or the second time or the third time. It may be the fourth time, fifth time, maybe 10th time before that material success begins to show itself. But the key here, whether you're a guy that's in university, you're just very unsatisfied with your job, you're very unsatisfied with your girlfriend, or unfortunately wife maybe, you have to step back, or the country that you're living in. If you're very unsatisfied with, if you're say a guy who's in their early 20s, you're dissatisfied with the dating life, as I was myself when I was 20 and before I went to South America, you got to ask yourself, is what I'm doing worth it? With the short life that we have here, you have to be honest with yourself, because at the end of the day, no one's going to care anyhow. It's not going to matter. People might criticize you. They may say stuff to you. Their opinions don't matter at all. That I can tell you. And so you have to really be looking and asking yourself these questions. And also remember that the truly successful people, this is what they're constantly doing. And they're certainly not constantly focused on the opinions, all the little trivial ideals that people have around them. They're very focused on their own goals and what they want to accomplish. That much I can say. And also, you can't forecast for situations. I'll go back here to my own life. When I left the States in 2018, I'm actually very glad I left at that point to go to Eastern Europe, because when we look at this whole COVID situation, if I had postponed this a couple more years, I mean, although I was technically fired from that job, that's what ultimately caused me to leave the States, I would have then, if it was 2 years later, would have been dealing with this whole situation during the COVID era. In much of what I did during that time when it happened, it probably couldn't have happened. Logistics would have been too tricky there. And that's something to remember. There sometimes are external conditions that you cannot control, and those may come into place. And if you continue to procrastinate, delay, anything can happen. We can even look at our fellow MGTOW brother, Viking MGTOW. This guy obviously accumulated several million, most likely in cryptocurrency. His net worth when he passed away was he was certainly in the top 1%. We saw what happened with him. He unfortunately passed away this past year, and I know there's other MGTOW brothers that have had the same situation. He obviously just grinded. He served in the military. He worked and worked and worked, accumulated a lot of savings, and then when basically YOLO'd into cryptocurrencies some years ago, and with quite a bit of wealth to his name. Unfortunately, at that point, it didn't really matter. And I don't think he probably didn't make the most of certain areas of his life because he was approaching it with that mindset. And I would argue, I don't know for certain, but I would think that Vincent maybe would have would have tried to enjoy his life a bit more, or done things a little differently, maybe executed on things a little earlier in his life rather than procrastinate until the last hour. So that's a great lesson there, but just remember that. And I look forward to all the feedback below in my video, and thank you. Have a very Merry Christmas to everyone here in the US, Europe, anywhere.